1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
He's a mouse, he's our eyes in the ring.
I really do enjoy watching him fight.
If you don't dedicate yourself to that sport, you will lose.
He's a warrior, man. He's always been a warrior.
They will run around, they will beat you.
And touches on it all the time. You gotta break the body down.
Go ahead, Cam. Go ahead.
Yeah, man.
Is the thing started?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yo. Back.
We back again.
The podcast, Monday 8, 2018. First episode of 2018.
First episode of the new year, man.
New year.
I'm with it.
You got some new resolution for 2018, Cam?
Hell to the no. It's just doing the same thing I'm always doing, man. Yeah, I never really been big into doing New Year's resolutions because I don't need like a reset button to start something new, man. I don't want to do stuff like that. I don't know. That's just me.
Trust me, I feel you.
Yeah, man. I don't like measuring, goals or accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
Like
especially
per year and stuff like that.
Especially when you know that, I guess a lot of people get the resolution and then I guess 2 weeks or 3 weeks from.
I tell you, this is good for business though, man.
Yeah?
Our gym be packed with people trying to get New Year's resolutions in.
But I feel like it's probably, isn't it packed because they've been eating for the past 2 weeks?
Well, that's the thing. You got your New Year's resolution right after your holidays. You got Christmas. Right. You got New Year's, you got Thanksgiving, all that stuff all lined up in a row. So, people say, all right, it's New Year's. I can eat well. I can kind of go hard with the health. Mm-hmm. And then when the New Year comes around, they're like, all right, it's time to start. But, I get it.
All right. Well, what's up, boxing world?
Boxing fans.
Anyway, So yeah, man, in the world of boxing, we got fight announcement. Robert Easter will be Robert Easter Jr. will be fighting Dominican fighter Javier Fortuna on January 20th. The fight versus Mikey Garcia wasn't able to get made. I think from what I saw, Robert Easter Jr. was blaming Garcia for the fight not being made. So I'm pretty sure it was probably a money thing. Mikey Garcia probably walked away from this fight because, man, business of boxing as usual, So he will fight Javier Fortuna. Fortuna only have one loss on his record. So, man, I don't know if he's let's see if he has a name on his record. I don't know much about the Fortuna guy. I
don't know much about him either. You know how many fights he has at least?
He had a good amount for what I checked out. He had a good amount. But yeah, man, I want to see Robert Easter with a name in there, man. I was kind of looking forward to that Mikey Garcia fight.
Yeah,
if they're able to make it.
He's good. I like Robert Easter. I saw him fight one dude one time, and he was putting the hands on him, man. So
Fortuna only got one loss, and it's to Jason Sosa.
Okay.
Yeah.
How would you rank Jason Sosa as a fighter?
After what I saw against Gamboa, I would say B level. No. Wait, no. B level, I'm doing too much. I don't want to say C. But I don't want to, cause he did a good job. He got a 2 loss, Lomachenko and Gamboa, which are 2 big names, and he got a draw versus Nicholas Walter. So I guess I would say the thing is, he's not known in the sport of boxing. That's the problem. Yeah. A lot of people are good, but they're not known in the sport of boxing. So he's a good talent. He has some good name. He has some good name on that.
And to his credit, I think he did enough to beat Gamboa during that fight. So
yeah, he did. He definitely did.
I don't count that one against him.
That's true. So yeah, Jason Sosa he's a solid fighter. So that fight will be on January 20th. On the same night, we have the big fight, Errol Spence versus Lamont Peterson at the Barclays Center. Man, we haven't spoken about that fight a lot, really. Spence and Lamont are pretty good friends, but this is, it's the business of boxing. So obviously they got to set the friendship aside and fight, but,
it's going to be all good, man. They're going to come out with more respect for each other after this fight. But I'm excited to see this one. I really am. It's going to be good. Shout out to, both of them fighters, man. I'm a fan of both. Lamont Peterson, headbangers, what up? And Errol Spence, man.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they both able to provide for the family at the end of the day, because that's the thing about the sport of boxing is just that you don't want to fight your friends, but at the same time, that's how you get your paycheck, you know. So Spence being able to give Lamont Peterson the opportunity to fight for his IBF title, he gives an opportunity to Lamont Peterson to be on a big fight again, you know. So depending on how the fight plays out, you know, maybe we'll see Lamont Peterson on big fight again, you know, and he has a shot to win the title. So man,
hopefully. I mean, I think Lamont Peterson's was his last big fight, Danny.
He did his last big fight, Danny. I think so. Yeah,
I think so. I thought he beat Danny during that fight.
A lot of people think he beat Danny.
Danny came out with like 3 black eyes.
Yeah,
hey, man,
he was pretty beat up.
He was tore up, man, and Lamont Peterson was fine. He was putting in work on Danny, but they gave it to Danny. So, you know, it's a shame because, you know, his career probably could have went a different direction if he won that fight against Danny. Because I think Danny went on to fight a couple of big names. I can't remember who exactly he fought after.
Danny fought after that. He fought Porter. He fought
was it Porter?
It was Porter and Thurman after that.
Okay,
I think. Yeah, it was Thurman. Yeah. So how do you see that fight play out, man? You know, it's only January 20th, man. That's like what, next week? 2 weeks?
That's next. Yeah.
When is it? The 20th is Saturday. It's in 2 weeks.
I got Errol Spence coming out on top. I think he's just too powerful. I think he's such a strong fighter. Lamont Peterson is very defensive, and he can be slick like he showed against Danny. Right. Mm-hmm. But I think Errol Spence is very good at backing you into a corner and just teeing away at you. So
he's very good at beating the body up, I think. But I think what caused the Danny Garcia fight, Lamont Peterson, is I think he wasn't active enough in the early round, and he started picking back up toward the second half of the fight, and I think that's what costed him.
Yeah.
So if he can like set the pace, he has a pretty good shot, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think he has a really good shot. I mean, they're both great fighters. I'm excited.
Don't try to trade. Don't try to do what Kell Brook did, because I think the mistake Kell Brook did, he fought with his heart. He was trying to trade with Errol Spence. I think if Lamont Peterson want to win that fight, he has to box Errol Spence. You know.
Yeah, and I think in that Kell Brook fight, I think Kell Brook exposed a little bit of Errol Spence's flaws, as far as like defense goes. You know, Errol Spence doesn't move a lot. He stands in there and he overpowers you. Yeah,
it seemed like he was going straight at him, right? But then again, he wanted to make a statement, so I guess you're right.
I mean, he did. He made Kell Brook quit, so.
He made Kell Brook quit. You're right. On February 10th, we have Hank Ludy versus DeMarcus Corley, a.k.a. Chop Chop Corley.
Chop Chop.
I didn't even know he was still fighting, man. For real. I thought he was retired. I don't know if it's like a special, I guess. Did you know he was still fighting?
I had no idea.
He said, I had no idea.
I had no idea Chop Chop was still chopping it up.
Man, Hank, he's a pretty underrated fighter, man. He's been with some good people, some good fight. He's been in some good fight, man. He fought man, who did Hank Ludy fight again? He fought Terence Crawford, Mauricio Herrera, Thomas Delorme, Victor Postel, and Ray Beltran. He got some good names on there, man. But I think it's just an exhibition. I don't think it's an actual fight.
Oh, really?
I don't know, because I don't see it on BoxRec, so I guess maybe it's just an exhibition. I don't know if it's an actual fight.
That'd be interesting. I wonder what their motives are for doing this an exhibition, unless it's like
I saw it on Instagram. Yeah, I saw it on Instagram. I was like, what? So maybe just an exhibition, right? So, But anyway, moving on from that, we have the return of a Ukrainian star, or rising star, I should say, Alexander Usyk. He will be fighting Maris Bredis in the Cruiserweight World Boxing Super Series on January 27th. Now, I think I've talked about this gentleman before, and I'm going to talk about him again. That's a name we're going to hear. Alexander Usyk. If you guys get a chance, go check him out on YouTube. You don't hear much about the cruiserweight division up until, the Tony Bellew and David Haye were kind of the last name you heard as far as the cruiserweight division. But, he's very exciting, man. I'm pretty sure you don't know much about him, Cam, right?
Oh, hell to the no.
Usyk? Nah, I'm telling you, Alexander Usyk. It's a name, man. It's a name. That dude will become a star in boxing.
Alexander
he's also from Ukraine. Again, Ukrainian fighter, man. Ukrainian fighter.
Probably huge amateur background, I'm guessing.
Probably.
How old is he?
I think he's already like 30.
Okay.
He's 30. His birthday's actually next week. Shoot.
Uh-oh.
His birthday's actually next week. But yeah, he's from Ukraine, man. Southpaw. He won gold at the 2012 Olympics. So that tells you right there. But he's a good fighter, man. He's a good prospect. Well, prospect. He's 30 years old, so obviously all his experience is from the amateur.
Yeah.
Probably that's the thing about this European fighter. Like they turn pro. And I don't know the reason why, but they turned pro rather late because he only has 13 fights. And he's already 30 years old. So
13 pro fights.
Yeah, 13 pro fights. So he's kind of on that fast track, I would say, where, he's already in star, but,
Hey, maybe they found the way to do it.
No, but don't you think it's crazy? All these Ukrainian fighters that just emerged, man. We got the Klitschko. I'm telling you, it goes back to what I was saying, man. Boxing is huge in Ukraine, I feel like, because we have, Lomachenko, the Klitschkos, now you have Usyk. Wasn't Shabransky from, Ukraine as well?
Shabransky.
Vaclav Shabransky was from, he was from Ukraine. Another one. But all these European fighters doing well over here.
Yeah, man.
So, we have the potential fight that's supposed to be finalized this week. Anthony Joshua versus New Zealand fighter Joseph Parker.
There we go.
The fight would be at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff on March 31st. It will be a title unification bout for Anthony Joshua. Joshua got what, the WBO and WBA, and Joseph got the IBF.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yeah, man. How do you feel about that fight?
It should be a good fight, man. I think Joshua is gonna take it. Judge, I'm ready to see it.
I've been told that I underestimate Joseph Parker, but for what I saw from his last fight against Yuri Fury, I think he was throwing. I think his punches were a little wild, so I didn't think that. I think he would get caught by Joshua, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But it should be a big fight for Anthony Joshua, man. He's the new star in boxing, so it should be a good fight for him. Now, the other thing is, if Joshua were to win that fight, he's adding another belt to his resume.
Yeah.
So it would be even harder for Deontay Wilder to get the fight at the end of the year. I feel like,
That's what I was thinking. If he takes this win, which I think he probably will, he's adding another belt to his lineup, to his closet.
Yeah.
So
like I said, the fight is being finalized. So hey, we'll see, man. Hopefully March 31st we get to see that fight.
Hey, I'm ready.
The president of the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, has stated that the WBC lightweight champion Mikey Garcia must face Jorge Linares after his next fight.
Hey.
I know. Well, after their next fight. So, because Mikey Garcia is fighting. When is Mikey Garcia fighting against? He's fighting Sergey Lipinets in February, I think, and Jorge Linares is fighting in 3 weeks. So, hopefully, man.
Hey, man, you know who I'm rooting for.
You said Linares?
Yeah, Linares. I like Linares. But why did Solomon say that? Why did Mauricio Solomon say that?
I mean, I guess you understand that this fight needs to get made. That's just what's going on, you know. Linares is already on his way out. He's 35, 36 at this point?
Yeah, he's up there in age.
He's up there. That's the fight that needs to get made at not featherweight, at lightweight, right? Yeah. It's a fight that, anyway, at 135. It's a fight that needs to get made at 135.
Yeah, 135. I was going to say that, yeah.
Yeah. It's a fight that needs to get made at 135, and he understands that that's the money fight.
Oh,
that
yes.
can be, do you think that fight can be pay-per-view worthy? You think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
I don't know though.
No, you don't think so? I mean, do you think it'd be pay-per-view worthy as far as generating numbers or like fight quality?
No. Fight quality, of course, is quality, but as far as numbers, I don't think Linares is known enough.
Yeah, okay,
to make it a pay-per-view.
That's where I'll agree with you. Fight quality, yeah, they're definitely pay-per-view quality. But numbers, I don't think Linares is known enough.
No, he's not known enough. But man, I just can't wait for this. If we could have that in 2018, that would be a good fight for real.
Hell to the yeah.
That'd be a good fight.
I got Linares.
But they also want to do this the Lomachenko versus Mikey Garcia. Although I don't think that fight will happen, but.
Shit, man. If not, Linares versus Lomachenko, man. I'll be down to watch any of those fights.
Yeah? That'd be that'd be a good one. That'd be a good
man.
fight.
I'll be down to watch any of those fights.
That'd be a good fight. Because right now, I feel like Lomachenko keep fighting smaller fighters, you know, but once he's going to get to 135, you know, he can actually fight people like the Mikey Garcia, the Linares, the Robert Easter.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why I guess it's two different networks, but that's another one that, Robert Easter versus Lomachenko, man. That would be interesting.
Hell to the yeah. I like that though. I kind of like, you know, me personally, I like the WBC, president saying, hey, you guys have to fight. You know, he's almost making that fight happen, you know, and it's something fans would want to see too. So I think it'd be good for boxing.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
Do you think that should happen more often? Like in boxing, like have the president of, you know, like certain organizations almost dictate like that to make fights happen?
Yeah, because some of these fights needs to happen, you know?
Yeah.
Because some of these fighters needs to fight each other. That's the thing about boxing is so many great fighters in the history of the sport never get to fight each other at the right time, you know? And we've been robbed we've talked about it all the time. We've been robbed of great fight because of that. So it's good that the president actually step up and demand that these fighters fight each other. Really.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, I want to see that more in boxing. I want to see fights
from some boxing organization.
Yeah. Like, hey, like, yo, you know, even you know, unification belts and stuff like that. If that could happen more, you know, if the presidents were like, hey.
Right. We moving on. We got so after Billy Joe Saunders, of course, beats the brakes off Lemieux. You know, he declared that he wanted to fight Triple G. So, how would you see this fight play out? If the fight were to get made now, how would you see the fight? Where would the fight? Well, the fight would probably be in the U.S. But how would you see the fight play out?
I would probably compare it to the Triple G Canelo fight.
You think?
I think Saunders is a little bit more mobile than Canelo, and I don't
way more mobile than Canelo.
Yeah, you're right. He's way more mobile, but I think Canelo has a little bit more pop to kind of, you know, not have to be as mobile. So I don't know. So I think you're going to get like a similar fight to the Triple G Canelo, with more movement and less power. But I think I don't know how Saunders' chin is. You know, we know how Triple G hits, so that's going to be an interesting matchup.
You know, Saunders beat Chris Eubank Jr., man. People can say Eubank Jr. was pretty young. I mean, was pretty green in the boxing world at the moment, but he still beat him. And I don't know. I saw some of when I see some of the trainings, the Billy Joe Saunders training, it seemed like he got some pop. He seemed like he got some power. Yeah. And I feel like he's a guy he's a boxer. He's like, just like Tyson Fury. They don't do more as, than they have to. So, for example, with Lemieux, he didn't have to use his power because he wasn't in a position where he had to. He just boxed and moved.
Yeah, he wasn't going for a knockout or anything.
Yeah, he wasn't going for a knockout or anything. And I feel like with Triple G, man, the fight. See, the funny thing is now the only thing we have in our head is the Billy Joe Saunders version versus Lemieux. So now we feel like he's unbeatable, because we saw what he did against Lemieux. But again, it's level to boxing. Yeah. Just because he did that versus Lemieux, that doesn't mean he's going to do the same thing against Triple G, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But, but because that's what I have in my head, and I know that Triple G is not a mobile fighter like that. I feel like he could outbox Triple G if he's careful. Because I've said it so many times. I don't feel like Triple G. I'm not. I don't want to take away from his boxing skills, but when I see Triple G, I feel like he relies so much on his power, and he's like he knows that whatever you're giving him, he's gonna get back to you. He's gonna get it back to you. Yeah. But as far as him, I don't know. Cutting off the ring, Triple G. We will have to see his ability to cut off the ring versus Billy Joe Saunders if the fight can get made. But I can see one of these things where either one of the fighter price himself out from that fight.
Yeah, you think so?
The Canelo fights, they're still chasing the Canelo fight. We're in January right now, and they haven't mentioned the rematch, Canelo versus Triple G. So it's like, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on,
I hear you.
So, staying with the UK fighters, I'm just going to stay with the UK fighters right now. Tyson Fury said he went on Twitter and said that he wanted to face Anthony Joshua as his first fight for a comeback. He said he said he don't need no warm-up fight or nothing like that. He's just ready for Anthony Joshua.
Damn, he came at his throat like that. Said, "You're gonna be my first fight back."
So do you think it's a bad move? Yeah.
Anthony Joshua isn't a slouch. We saw that. He's undefeated. Obviously, he's got 2 belts. He fought the Klitschko brother. Mm-hmm. You can't take him lightly, and even if Tyson Fury is a better boxer, you haven't boxed in what
2 years?
2 years, yeah, 2 years. Yeah. So it's going to be tough to just jump in there against an athlete like Anthony Joshua. Yeah, I think he has a lot. He has a lot to think about when going in to fight Anthony Joshua, because not only is he an athlete, he has power and he has pretty decent boxing skills. So,
That's true. I agree. And just to add to your point, I don't want Tyson Fury to be overconfident, and I feel like that's what it is, because when he sees Anthony Joshua's skills from outside of the ring, he thinks it's easy. But being outside the ring and inside the ring it's a different ball game, right? And Anthony Joshua is the gym rat. That's someone that Anthony Joshua live in a gym. This man live. I'm convinced Anthony Joshua eats, sleep, and drink at the gym.
Hey,
he train. He does everything at the gym. So, is it a bad move as a first fight coming back? Yes, I think it's a bad move. I think it's a little too premature. I love the fact that you're confident in your abilities to beat him up, but the fact that he has to lose so much weight, in order to get back in the mix, I feel like he should take at least one more fight just to build your as much as you want to say he's confident, and I get it, he is, but you still need that fight just to get that ring rust off of you, right? Just to get that ring rust off, and just to build your confidence a little, Get that confidence back up. Get someone like Dalen White if they can get. I know Dalen White and Hughie Fury's been going back and forth on Twitter to get a fight made, but I would rather see Tyson Fury take on a smaller opponent in April and maybe get a bigger fight later down the line. But
man, get Shannon the Cannon. He's sitting around doing nothing, just walking around with his shirt off.
And and that fight would sell. Like, I don't know why he doesn't want to get that fight. That would be an easy fight in the UK. The UK fan loves Shannon Briggs. Tyson Fury, he's a character in boxing that we need. The press conference will be hilarious. I don't know why he doesn't want to get that fight, man. I think he's just too eager to get back in the discussion in the boxing world.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit too eager and ambitious to get back into the spotlight. So, I would probably be the same, but you got to be smart about it. I think, and I would advise his team to not advise that fight against Anthony Joshua. So,
I feel like he still think of himself as, and I'm not saying he's not. We don't know if he's still at that level, but he still think of himself as the Tyson Fury of 2 years ago when you beat Klitschko. Because Vladimir Klitschko looked like I'm not gonna say novice, but he made him look. I mean, shit, he made him look bad, pretty much.
Yeah.
But that was 2 years ago. You weren't necessarily, you didn't really have, we don't know if you had any of the issues he had, but we don't know if you're at that level. We don't know if you're at that level.
He doesn't know if he's at that level. I mean, he imagines himself at that level, but whether or not he actually is still to be seen when he steps back in the ring and fights whoever he fights, so.
Yeah, man. Being confident is a great thing. Being overconfident is not such a good thing. So, yeah, man. If I'm seeing, man, you just lost a lot of weight just to get back in the mix. Just get on a smaller opponent. Get one or two fight in between. Get your name back with the boxing fans because that's another part. He still has to establish his name in the boxing world again. You know what I mean? Like people know who they are, but they're not sure if he has they're not sure if he's at that level again back, So it's better to have one fight or two fight to show people that you're at that level, and then you can get back in the conversation. Because at that point, if people see that you have the ability, you will make even more numbers come Anthony. When it's time to make Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder fight, you not only the fight's going to make more numbers, but you'll be able to come to the table and ask for more money. You know what I mean? Right now, he doesn't have much to bring to the table. He's not no A-side, so that's for sure.
No,
he's not no A-side. He's not no A-side, so if I were him, man, I would just take my time, one or two fight, and then take on the big dogs.
Yeah, go after the big dogs.
Like I said, we stand with the British fighters. Your boy, Amir Khan, said he has a big announcement coming up. He will probably make his ring comeback sometime in March. So, who do you think Amir Khan should fight next? And first of all, I wonder what big announcement he has to make. He already said that he wanted to fight 3 times this year.
Yeah.
But I wonder, who's the big announcement?
I think it was maybe a tweet or something. I forget what it was, but he said he's going to come back and clean up the 147 weight class.
Man, his chin won't allow him to clean up.
No, it won't, man. That's what I was thinking. He's got a glass jaw, and they got some heavy hands in that division. So, who should he fight? I think, you know what I actually saw? Put him against AB.
Is Adrian Broner's fighting someone? Sure.
I don't know. I didn't see anything about him fighting anybody anytime soon.
Yeah. You think you seen the first fight back should be Adrian Broner? Yeah. I haven't thought about that, man.
Adrian Broner lost his last fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Amir Khan. Yeah, Adrian Broner's not in the gym right now. He's not in the gym. I just seen something on Instagram where he was talking about coming out with a mixtape, a freestyle mixtape. So his mind isn't on training. So, but when the time comes, he'll get back in the gym. But I think, it's going to be good. I think it'll be a good fight, man.
Adrian Broner. Damn, I haven't thought about that.
I think, I saw them talking before a while ago about setting up a fight, but I can't even remember when. But that's the fight I want to see.
Man, I think even Amir Khan will beat Adrian Broner. I want to be, like I said, up until the Mikey Garcia fight, and I saw the fight actually not too long ago again. Up until the Garcia fight, I really believe in Broner, but now Broner has to show me a lot. He has to show me a lot to me to put him as a relevant name in boxing again. Yeah, but you know what's crazy is if they set up that fight, they both will make money. If they set up if they make Broner versus Amir Khan, that's a good fight, man.
Yeah. That's what I want to see. Amir Khan versus...
That might be the big announcement, man. That might be the big announcement.
I hope so. Because
he said he has a shocking announcement, so... I mean, I hope it ain't gonna be no... Oh, I'm going to 55 pounds again and fight somebody at 54. I hope not. I hope he's gonna stay at 147. And, woo! Man, you know what? Amir Khan... He said he want to fight 3 times this year. I want to see one of these fights has to be Kell Brook. His window of opportunity to fight Kell Brook is closing. That's a fight that would have made Amir Khan so much money. Both of them, not even just Amir Khan, Kell Brook as well. So one of these fights has to be Kell Brook. I hope Kell Brook is going to win his fight against the gentleman he's fighting in what is it, in February, March? He's making his Kell Brook is making his debut at 154. So it will have to be a catchweight anyway against Amir Khan. But I hope one of the fight will be Kell Brook. But shit, who do I want Amir Khan to fight?
So when would you want that fight to happen? You went with that one first, though, right? Kell Brook,
Amir Khan. Amir Khan already said he's doing the Ramadan in June, so he's not going to be able to train over the summer. So the fight, he said he want to fight twice before. So one fight should be in March. I don't think he's going to be able to fight in April or May. One fight should be in March. Maybe, hey man, I don't know how he's going to fight 3 times a year. Maybe one in March and then one in May right before the Ramadan. And then maybe one in October. His first opponent back should be, Terence Crawford, man. He ain't fighting nobody.
Terence Crawford?
Terence Crawford, man. That might be the announcement, for real. Terence Crawford and Amir Khan, that make numbers right there. I'm just making the dream, it's not a dream fight, but it's a fight that I would like to see. You know, Terence Crawford has an exciting style. Amir Khan got the fast hands. And as much as people hate him, he's an exciting fighter as well. He's super fast.
Yeah, he is. He's fast. He's real fast. He's
fast. When he always dedicated himself to the sport, you know. So Terence Crawford versus Amir Khan, I think people would tune into that fight easy. And to be honest, that would be a really good test for Terence Crawford, I think.
Yeah, I think speed wise, I think Amir Khan has a speed advantage over anyone he fights. It's just he can't get caught, man. Once he gets caught, it's over.
He got to be careful. Honestly, that's the only thing. He just has to be careful when he goes into this exchange. He has to be more careful.
And I think that's a problem with him too, because always in the early rounds, his speed wins him those rounds, and then I think he gets so comfortable with that speed. You know, he stays in the pocket.
And he get carried away.
One punch too long, he gets carried away, and he gets clipped, and then he never gets up.
So the fight I'd like to see Amir Khan for this year, I would like to see Amir Khan with Terence Crawford. So the 3 fight, right? Terence Crawford, I like to see the rematch versus Danny Garcia, because that fight will make money, because now they both raise their profile. If Danny win versus Brandon Rios, the rematch will be great, will be huge. And then the Kell Brook fight.
Kell Brook?
Yeah. That's a 3 fight I'd like Amir Khan to see.
I would switch out. I want the Crawford and the Brook fight, but I want to see him fight AB.
Yeah, but I feel, honestly, if we're being honest, the first fight versus Danny Garcia, I feel like Danny Garcia just caught Amir Khan, because Amir Khan was winning.
He caught him. Danny Garcia caught him with one of those blind hooks he throws.
People are honest, if people realize, every time Amir Khan, and it's an argument, people may say, yeah, Anthony, but he still lost. But every fight Amir Khan got dropped, he was winning on the scorecard.
Yeah.
If you look at the Canelo fight, he was touching up Canelo. Canelo was losing on the scorecard. He just happened to get caught. Same thing with the Danny Garcia fight. He just happened to get caught. And if we think about the Lamont Peterson fight, man, I honestly feel like he got robbed, man. Honestly, I feel like the fight was in Lamont Peterson home turf, which was DC, and it was a brawl. I don't know if you saw that fight, but Lamont Peterson versus Amir Khan, it was a really good fight, but
no, I didn't see that one.
I kind of feel like he got robbed. He was a good fight, man. If you can find it on YouTube, I feel like they robbed him, man. For real.
Yeah. I'm gonna look that one up.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even know they fought.
Yeah, Amir Khan, so the 3 loss he has, the 4 loss he has, because he lost to Ricky Burns as well. So he lost to Ricky Burns, Lamont Peterson via decision, and then the 2, he got dropped by Garcia and Canelo. Those are his only 4 losses. So, oh man. Anyway, I'm gonna start with so Jermell Charlo just called out Saddam Ali for a unification fight at 154. What do you think about that? I mean, I know what I think about it.
Man, let's see it, man. Let's see it. I got Jermell Charlo winning that one.
That's what I was gonna say. These 2, the twins, they're killers, man. They're snipers. Those 2, I think it's time, not it's time, but we have to whatever. I mean, we have to start thinking about these two as pound for pound fighters. Honestly, I mean, we have to see what his brother's going to do at 160. But one of these two gentlemen has to. How old are they? 26, 27? One of them has to break it into the top 10 of the pound for pound list.
Yeah, they got to make that list soon. One of them does.
Yeah, because they're killers. I mean, I think he's great. I think he's great for 154. I don't think he's great for Saddam Ali. You just won a belt versus Cotto. Don't take that fight. Don't take that fight. Take a fight. Maybe take one or two, tune-up fight, easy opponent, and then make the Charlo fight. Enjoy your title a little bit, because getting back in there after you were with Cotto, getting in back in there with a Charlo, nah, man, nah. It's a good fight on paper. But
them boys are snipers, man. Assassins.
Moving on, Cam, I guess that's going to be a subject of conversation. I don't know how you feel about this fight, but so Bob Arum is in the work of Manny Pacquiao's senator. Manny Pacquiao will make his ring return in April. They're currently working in a fight versus Mike Alvarado. Essentially, they're saying, you want to be the fight. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it a tune-up fight. And if Manny were to win that fight, they will set it up versus the winner of, I guess, Terence Crawford versus who's the guy, the Australian guy that beat him? Jeff Horn. Yeah. So the winner of Jeff Horn versus Terence Crawford would face Manny Pacquiao if he were to win against that potential Mike Alvarado fight.
Man, and I was hoping what's his name wasn't in the mix of this matchup. What's his name? Jeff Horn. I hope you weren't going to say his name at all, but I forgot his mandatory was Crawford, so he's not going to beat Crawford, so there's no chance of Pacquiao fighting him.
But you know what, man, what I'm mad is, like, Pacquiao reached a level and now you over there fighting Mike Alvarado. Like, it's good for Mike Alvarado, I know he's going to make some serious money from that fight, but man, like, we don't want to see you in these, like, I don't want to see you in this fight. Like,
I was hoping this was his last fight. I don't care to see Pacquiao anymore. I don't want to see him.
Do people care? Is Pacquiao still a draw in boxing?
Not after everyone saw the Floyd fight. I think that's what everyone was hoping for, like boxing fans, non-boxing fans. Once that fight, ended and Pacquiao lost just like every other fighter, I think he lost a lot of his steam, a lot of his hype. And I wasn't interested in even seeing that fight anymore, but I think he just needs to stop, man. He's a senator.
He's a senator, man, for real. He's a senator. I don't know why, man. Because if that's a tune-up fight, and he's 39 now. He's 39, so it's like you go from fighting, you go being on the top of your career, fighting names, and now you're going back to fighting the Mike Alvarado. It's like Pacquiao is taking these typical boxing, I guess, those veterans in the sport where when they don't know when to quit, pretty much, they're over there they're fighting people they shouldn't even be fighting anymore. This is the same thing that happened with Roberto Duran, like he continued fighting and fighting and fighting where, dude, you shouldn't even be in the ring anymore,
Yeah. And I hate to see fighters go out like that. So.
Yeah, like fight the what's he called? Maybe get your rematch versus Jeff Horn, or try to get a Terence Crawford fight, but that's not going to happen. I feel like Terence Crawford is just going to wash Pacquiao for real.
Yeah.
For real. And call it a career, man. Like, seriously, let it go, man. Let it go.
I agree. He needs to let it go.
I want to have Jeff, one of the twins' opinion about this. Jeff and Kevin, them being from Philippines. Yeah, man. But I'd like to have their opinion on this.
Ain't they from? Are they not from?
I think they're not. They part Chinese, but I want to see they related. I feel like they're related to the Philippines.
I don't think they are, man. I don't think they are.
They just, man, they may not be, man. They just.
I'm gonna ask Jeff.
No, you're right. I think the Chinese, but it's just that they got that Asian connection, so they're feeling that Asian pride in Pacquiao. I think that's what it is, man. Hey, Kev, Jeff, my bad, yo. You know I love y'all, man. If y'all listening, I know Jeff, you in China, man. If you're listening, I love you, man.
Kev's right next door, man. You better watch out.
Oh, man, you know. But that's
have you talked to Kev since you seen him?
No, I told him to come down with me at the Headbanger, but you know he has a crazy schedule, so I doubt he'd be able to make it.
I hear you.
He has a crazy schedule, but so I mean that's what it is for that fight, you know. I mean the last topic of the day, we got your idol, you know, Roy Jones.
I saw this, man.
Final fight.
I saw it on social media and I didn't. I thought it was a joke. I was hoping it wasn't true. But then I seen Roy Jones, like I follow him on Instagram. He had a picture saying getting ready for his last fight. And I'm just like, here we go, man. Roy Jones he's my idol, man. He's my boxing idol. If I had to pick a favorite boxer, and I'm going to keep saying it for forever, Roy Jones is probably my favorite boxer.
Your favorite boxer.
But what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Come on, man. You've had enough losses to realize you should have stopped 27 years ago.
I mean, the law for the sport. It's the law for the ring. I think that's just what it is. I think he's not even fighting for the money. He doesn't even need the money, but it's just this thing of being in the ring, having people cheering for you, you know, just having a crowd hearing you. While you being, you know, it's just the glory. I think that's just what it is. I think the reason why so many fighters stay so long in the sport is not even just the money aspect. It's also that so many people respect you. You know, just that walk into the ring. It's like it's the only thing. I'm not going to say it's the only thing they know how to do in life, but that's what they got them to become who they are. You know?
Yeah. And
living that part of your life, that's the hard part for any athlete. It's not even just for Roy Jones, but it's just like living the sport. We see that in football, we see that in basketball. And it's even the same thing with Manny Pacquiao. It's like, that's the first thing, that's the only thing they really know how to do. And it's like, they just don't want to leave that sport. They just don't want to leave that. I get it. I really get it, but he's 48. You know, the last fight is in February 8th, by the way. February 8th is his last fight. The opponent is to be announced, but
that's the thing. Like, I understand all that too. And like, you know, and I try to imagine if I ever went down that route, like, you know, I'd probably still want to get in there and fight. Cause I still do want to fight. And it's just like, it's one of those things. It's like, you know, it's such a big part of your life. And, you know, when like you said, you build, you know, your life off of that part of you and to throw it away is hard, I guess, sometimes. But it's, you know, I think it's different for some fighters, especially when their careers are so like, I think Roy Jones falls into one of the fighters that you'll probably never ever see again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he falls into that category. You got your great fighters, but then you got your fighters that are like one of a kind. And he was definitely a one of a kind fighter. And I hate seeing him just take L's and losses and stuff like that. Yeah. You remember when he challenged a fan?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he challenged a fan like to $100,000 who thought he could beat him, and he knocked him out.
Really?
Yeah, Roy Jones knocked out one of his fans.
Yo, speaking of that, we have one of our former, someone else in our own city that used to fought Roy Jones, Eric Watkins, man.
Eric Watkins, yeah, man.
He fought Roy Jones, man. He got dropped, but you know, shout out to Eric Watkins, man. He fought
that, and that was what, like that was only like 3 or 4 years ago, too. Yeah. That wasn't too long ago, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to Eric Watkins.
Yeah, he was able to. He had the honor to be in the ring versus Eric Watkins. Eric Watkins had the honor to fight Roy Jones, but he gets to that level, man. He gets to the level where you're fighting people that are not ranked like that, and I don't think he cares so much about the rank. I really think it's just the love of the sport that you know. But you have to know when to walk away, man. You have to know, because not even just the money, your health, man. You know, with all these CTE things, you know, one bad punch and it can be over. You're 48. Yeah. You're not 38. You're not 28, you know? So.
You about to be 50 years old. And real quick, shout out to Eric because he went 6 rounds with Roy.
Yeah?
He went 6 rounds with the man. So, you know, a lot of people can't say that.
Yeah. But yeah, you have to think about these things. Like 48, you have a family, you have a good job with HBO. Like what? As a fighter, I get it, but you have other things you can accomplish in your life. And I think even going back with the Klitschko, for example, when he retired last year against Anthony Joshua, it's like as much as you want to rematch, it's like I'm 42. I've accomplished everything I had to accomplish in the sport of boxing. Why am I even still going and taking a necessary risk? Is it for the love of the fans? You know, yeah. And that's the thing, same thing Floyd is saying. That's the same thing Floyd is saying. It's like, why am I still taking, there's nothing fun of taking unnecessary punishment, you know?
No, it's not. And with that, and, you know, he said Roy Jones has that job with HBO. You know, he's one of the fight commentators. You know, you said one bad punch could end that for him. You know, you get hit wrong. And you may not be the same person, you know, mentally, you know, you may not be able to talk the same way or even process information the same way. Like that could be your job right there. So, you know, it's dangerous, man.
Even that, you have to think about the effect later on, because we always say it's like, it's not even just the fight itself. It's all you go through during training camp, you know. All these punishment you're taking adds up. So you may be fine right now at 48, but you know what? We don't know what's going to be like in 5 years from now, 10 years from now. We don't know what it's going to be like. You're not the Roy Jones of the 90s where your hands were so fast, people didn't even touch you. Nowadays, it's very easy for people to connect, you know. And I know he got dropped now. He got dropped one of these. When was the last time he got dropped? He got dropped
a couple of times, man. I don't know when the last time was. I really try not to watch his fights, man.
Oh, damn.
I hear about him fighting, but I don't like watching it, man. Just that's my hero right there, man. I can't be seeing him getting knocked out the ring like Bernard Hopkins did.
But you know what? Let's finish this episode on a positive note. At least he called it quit. At least, you know, he's retiring. You know, at least he finally leaving the sport. His last KO was 2015 against Enzo Maccarinelli. You know, I don't even know the dude in the 4th round, but
nah, me neither. But
yeah, at least he's retiring. At least he's calling it quit. And he's finally gonna focus on other things. And you can still stay in the sport of boxing. He can train.
Yeah, I mean, and he still is. And I know he train. I've seen him train fighters. You know, once you leave the sport, once you leave the fighting aspect, you don't have to necessarily leave the sport. And that's a good thing, because, you know, that's what a lot of people I know do now too. Like even the trainers I work with. I mean, myself right. too. Like I don't fight no more, but I'm still in the boxing world.
Yo, I want to fight. I'm not gonna lie, man. So I was looking at my videos. So I was posting I gotta say this, man. I was posting you know how last week I was posting the episode and going through my old videos when I showed my highlight. I was like, man, I was kind of good, man. I should go back.
Hell yeah, especially you.
I was like, yo.
I'm not gonna lie, I saved that video. I got that video. I was gonna post it on my page. Like, yo, it's my boy Ant. Check him out.
Oh man,
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram fans that follow, video coming out soon.
Yo,
it's highlight tape.
I was like, that's the problem when you train, because, that's one of the reasons why I don't want to get back into the headbanger gym too much, because I know the fighter aspect is going to take over me again. And they're going to be like, oh, we're thinking about putting you in a fight. I'm like, all right, I'm going to start training and everything. Next thing you know, I'm going to be like, yo, Cam, I'm going to do ringside in August.
Hey, man, that's the thing, too, because the craziest part was I'd be like, yo, I'm doing it with you. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Cam, we're not back. Let's do it.
I'd be like, hey, let's do it, man. I'm with it. Like, I really, and like I said, I understand Roy Jones's mindset. It's hard for me to relate because I'm not as old as him, though. Like, I don't know if I'd have that same mindset at his age. But then again, you know, he was a champion. He had a great career. So, he took a different level. So he may have more emotion in the sport than I do. So he has that side of it. So that's the part I don't understand about it. So, but yeah, man.
I get it. But anyway, whoever is going to fight, hey, thanks for the memories, man.
Thanks for real, man. I still watch Roy Jones fights, man, against Vinny Pazienza, what's his name?
The James Toney fight was pretty good. Very technical fight.
James Toney, yeah.
Let me ask you this. What is one fight to you that describe the style of Roy Jones? Roy Jones style, or define, Roy Jones as a fighter. Do you have one definite fight that you just like, that's a fight that?
I would say the Percy Harris fight, and then, Vinny Pazienza. He scored both of them. Yeah, the Percy Harris fight. I believe that's the dude's name. Tall dude. Mm-hmm. I think the first punch he knocked Percy Harris down. Like it was a one punch. The fight, I think, went 8 rounds, but the first punch Roy Jones threw, he knocked the dude down. And I think he knocked him down 3 times after that. But Roy Jones won the fight by hitting this man with 4 hooks in a row.
That's the fight. I was going to ask you. Is that the fight?
Yeah, that's he hits dude with 4 hooks in a row. And then, and if you type in like Roy Jones highlights, you'll definitely see this. You'll know the exact fight I'm talking about. Yeah. Then Vinny Pazienza, they actually had a movie. I think it was called Bleed for This. I don't know if that fight was featured in that movie, but I think that fight took part after Vinny Pazienza had came back and recovered after I think he had some type of accident. But Roy Jones fought him, and Roy Jones schooled him. Fastest hands I've ever seen in that fight. Mm-hmm. And then the other fight, I'll probably say there's one more fight I was just thinking of. I can't. I had it in the back of my mind. It's gone now, but.
Do you remember who we fought? Oh, well.
I'm trying to, I can't think of the guy's name. Oh, the Australian dude who he knocked out with his hands behind his back.
Okay, hold on. The Australian dude with his hands behind, ooh. Glenn Kelly?
Glenn Kelly, yeah. He put work on in Glenn Kelly. That was, like Roy Jones literally put his hands behind his back. He slipped his jab and he knocked him out with like a right hand, and the fight was over after that, man.
I think to me, that probably the James Toney fight, because I think it was a super middleweight. Mm-hmm. And James Toney, man, if you guys want to see James Toney as his best, James Toney retired last year. He was one of the person that retired last year. And if you want to talk about boxing, one of the master in boxing, and someone who really, if you want to see where, I'm not going to say Floyd took the Philly shell from James Toney, because the Philly shell is from Grand Rapids, Michigan. But man, James Toney was at his best to me at super middleweight. He was the guy to beat at super middleweight. So the fight to me that defined the Roy Jones supremacy, I want to say, is Roy Jones versus James Toney, because he dropped James Toney. I mean, and this thing, James Toney was trying to pretty much, imitate what, Roy Jones was doing. You know how Roy Jones was kind of clowning and, doing all these act around the ring. James Toney tried to do the same thing, but he realized that, man, he's too fast. So he got caught with a hook, and he went down. But, that was definitely a very technical fight. But that's when you realize that, James Toney had the boxing skills, and Roy Jones had the boxing skills as well.
Hell yeah.
But he had that lightning speed that, man, James Toney really had no answer for that speed. So that's definitely the fight that I remember, that I was just like, damn, it's going to be hard to beat that dude.
Yeah, man. And then I got one more honorable mention. Roy Jones versus, Virgil Hill, man, that knockout, that body shot knockout. You know what I'm talking about, Ant?
I don't know what is familiar to me, but I can't.
You look it up, man. I think he hit Virgil Hill he hit him with a body shot, and Virgil Hill went straight down and grabbed his back, and like he spit out his mouthpiece. You could tell he was in so much pain.
Yeah.
And it was actually funny. One of my he that I train with, he's like 63, but he said he went to that fight and he said he he said he remembers that body shot. He said he could hear it from like the back, like from the back. Yeah, he said he hit him. Virgil Hill went straight down and grabbed his side, and it was over. Like you could tell he wasn't getting up. So.
Well, exactly, and see those fights we just mentioned. That's what I want to remember from Roy Jones. When I think about Roy Jones retiring, and I'm turning on YouTube, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see no Roy Jones versus Joe Calzaghe. I don't want to see that.
Nah, I don't, man. It's you know, and like I said, I understand Roy Jones's mindset, but you know, as a fan and as a person, I always try to emulate in the ring, and you know, really try to, you know, base my fighting style off of and train like, you know, it's sad to see, man.
Amazing career, man. We're losing another one of these, another big name in boxing, you know, James Toney, now Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins retired a few years. I think that was the last big, I feel like, yeah, those were the last big pure boxer we had in boxing from the old era. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From the old era of boxing. Now, I mean, with Roy Jones retiring, man, you know, it's the new era now. Floyd is the new era. So.
New era of boxing, man.
The new era, because Floyd retired. Yeah, so. That's how, I mean, anyway, that's all I got for this episode, man. I don't know if Cam want to add something else.
Nah, that was it, man. It was, I'll tell them where they can find us.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All right, YouTube now. YouTube is our new page. Yeah. We're going to be streaming. Excuse me. We're going to be streaming the podcast, the entire podcast, on YouTube as well, making it a little bit more easy for you guys to find. So you can go to YouTube, and all the stuff will be in the links and in the description. You know, all the links to each page will be in there, so it's going to be really easy for you guys to find. Please hit subscribe, comment, all that stuff, you know. You can also email us at gmail.acountspodcast@gmail.com. Any topics you want us to talk about, by all means, let us know. Anything, any comments, critiques, anything, just let us know. All right?
Alright, so yeah, I'm at every page, acountspodcast@gmail.com. We out.
We out.